Yes, we are welcome to this program. We are receiving one of the eminent personalities in northern Nigeria, those who shape the destiny of northern Nigeria, our direction in education and in politics. He needs no further introduction. He is Professor Attahiru Jega. He is a former ASU chairman in the 90s. He is a former Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, Kano, and he is a former chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission. He announced twice the president of Nigeria. You are welcome to our studio, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Viewers,
Yes.
good evening.
Sir, Professor Attahiru Jega is an institution in Nigeria. That is why I didn't even allow him to introduce himself. By his face, I know everyone knows him, so we don't waste time introducing you, sir. We move straight into the interview. Sir, the founder of this institution will naturally be interested in your coming, immensely interested. In fact, they welcome you to the institution. It is my responsibility to welcome you most warmly to our studios, Anas Aremeao, Anas Multimedia Content Creation and Innovation Center. Yes, so sir, given that you are a seasoned, a thoroughbred educationist, you are an academic by excellence, you are a seasoned scholar, what is your impression? You know private universities, you know public universities, you know what operates in Africa, in Nigeria, and internationally. What is your impression of what you have seen?
Well, once again, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your program. Coming to Gombe and visiting this university in particular has made my day. I have heard about the university. I have had a good relationship with the Vice Chancellor, and he has been asking me, find time, come and see what we are doing. I kept finding excuses, but Alhamdulillah, today Allah in His infinite mercy gave me the opportunity. And I'm very delighted to come here and see what the proprietor and pro-chancellor has done in terms of very wise investment for a new and very, very potentially excellent center of learning here in northern Nigeria and based in Gombe. So I have nothing but commendation for what I have seen. I have seen the passion, I have seen the zeal, and I have seen the investment in infrastructure and facilities. And it's amazing that somewhere in the north and here in Gombe, that this kind of investment in education has been made. And the facilities I have seen, and even the kind of students that I have seen, with not only passion for academic activities, but also using to the maximum the what we call extracurricular activities. Is frankly very, very impressive. So I like to commend the initiative. I commend the Pro-Chancellor, I commend the Vice-Chancellor and all the staff that have contributed to making this university what it is now within a short period of 3 years. So, and I have no doubt that if one were to come to this university in the next 2 or 3 more years, it will simply be amazing and phenomenal.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, our next question is, you see, this is Anas Armel, Anas Multimedia Content Creation and Innovation Center. It is purely an entrepreneurship center, sir. It houses the studios of the department, and it is a facility available for all students in the institution who are interested in media content creation. This issue about media literacy. We have short courses that are put on the table. Any student who is interested in media entrepreneurship, he comes here. Or part of what the DVC showed you there about the entrepreneurship skills in the university. You see media content creation. So the pro-chancellor and those who designed the university initially, they thought of starting the university with a department of mass communication. Let the department be part of the commencement of the university, not a later on thing, because they have a vision that people should make their choices based on based on information, credible information, and this can only come through ready-made media men and journalists. So you being a former INEC chairman, any comment on that?
Well, to be honest, it's a very wise decision to establish this as an enterprise for media content creation. Many universities in Nigeria for a long time have been, should I say, accused of not paying sufficient attention to entrepreneurship development and skills provisioning. And at the outset of setting up a new university, be visionary enough to factor the need to have this kind of entrepreneurship facility, frankly, is very, very commendable. You know, and certainly this is a way for many of our universities to pursue. You know, I mean, the fact that you generate content which also can be put commercial use and to many other uses, I think is a good effort and a commendable achievement. So I will encourage the proprietor and the pro-chancellor or the university in general to also really devote time and energy in terms of expanding the scope of entrepreneurship in the training of your students here. As I said, Nigerian universities are being accused not just for not paying attention to entrepreneurship and skills development, but also not training students that can be useful to industries. You know, so I think thinking about that and factoring it into getting higher education is quite visionary and is commendable and needs to be sustained.
Yes, so before Aisha's question, sir, my final question is, you are a professor of political science, and there is a nexus between political science and media as far as creating and sustaining public consent and public opinion is concerned. So what can you say about the necessity of this type of investments for the future of our democracy?
No, certainly for what we call developing democracies, there is need to pay a lot of attention to sensitization, to enlightenment, and to what other people even call consentization. You cannot build democracy without Democrats. So, and to get Democrats, you have to really popularize democratic political culture, and you have to make people recognize their roles and responsibilities as citizens who have obligations and who also have responsibilities. And you can only do that if you have an effective media that can also ensure that people, particularly people in governance, are also held accountable in terms of the work that they do. So frankly, investment in these kinds of facilities is, as I have said earlier on, very commendable. And obviously, as a former Vice Chancellor at Attahiru University, I also recognize that need and the nexus between political education and the media studies, and contributed my own bit to ensuring that we have a very good initially faculty of mass communication. Now it has expanded to all ranges of media studies. So I think it's visionary for the proprietor of this institution to also recognize how important it is. The only thing is, I hope when the curriculum, in the design of the curriculum, there is a clear recognition of the need to train people for popular enlightenment, because news is now becoming too commercialized, and we have to recognize that the value of enlightening citizens to be alive to their responsibilities cannot be commercialized. It has to be somehow subsidized, because an informed citizen really is a tremendous asset to the nation, and only through the media can we have such.
So over to you, Aisha.
As someone who is part of the development of tertiary education in Nigeria, what can you advise the nascent private university operating in the Northeast Nigeria?
No, definitely from my own experience and background, it is important to invest appropriately in establishing a university. So a new university like this one, I'm happy to say from what I have seen, those who planned it and who have established it are also investing appropriately. And it appears clearly that the investment is strategic and is visionary. You begin with the appropriate departments and faculties, and when you establish a faculty of a department, then there is a lot of thought and investment in the kind of equipment and facilities that are required for the development of such programs. From what I have seen, frankly, it's a clear, focused, visionary and strategic investment, so which is commendable, but my advice is sustainability. Don't take too much and too many things which would become unsustainable. Create a niche and focus a lot of attention for sustainable development in that area. So that will be my advice. I was telling the proprietor and the vice chancellor earlier on that many private universities in Nigeria presently are really not contributing as they should to educational development in our country. Why? Because the mindset for appropriate investment and sustainability is not there. People want to put little money, create a few ramshackle structures, and then expect to make money and make profit almost immediately. So investment in education requires passion, requires the need for incremental positive changes, and also for really sustainable development. And what I have seen here, frankly, I'm very much impressed with.
So mine is just, anyway, it's good to be a bit biased. You were at the Center for Africa Medicinal Plant Research, and you have seen what we have done and what we are doing. Is it something that you would encourage us to develop people, expertise in that area in order to address the healthcare challenges in the region and Nigeria?
No, definitely I was most impressed with what I saw. The facilities you have are simply amazing, and the challenge now is to put them to good use. And I'm glad when I heard what the efforts that are being made for partnerships and the commendable work that has been so far in training postgraduate students to have PhDs or masters in that facility. So it's a fantastic, innovative investment, Certainly, we all know that modern medicine, except for now that they are talking about synthetic drugs, are based on plants. And Nigeria or Africa more generally, we have a lot of them, and not much effort is being made to studying them, understanding their structure, composition, and then turning them appropriately from the traditional ways in which we use them into more modern ways. You recall my question about lack of lack of dosage in traditional medicine, and the kind of effort you are doing can definitely go a long way to help us in that regard, so that you move from just purely traditional with ancient methodologies and techniques to improving through innovation and value addition to producing essentially traditional drugs, but with value addition. And it can open new avenues, frankly. So actually it's a highlight of my visit to this. Of course, in addition to the other wonderful facilities I have seen, like the library and other things.
So as I was saying, the entire university is most highly honored by your visit. This is a sign that God is answering our prayers for Professor Jega to have time to come to the Northeastern University. I think is one of the best things that have happened to the institution. We lack words to thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We thank you for coming to our